Have you ever noticed your cat's eyes watering and wondered if they were crying? Or caught your feline friend making heart-wrenching sounds that seemed like genuine sobbing? Before we dive into this fascinating mystery, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you understand your cat's emotions. Picture this. You come home after a long day, and your cat looks at you with those big, glistening eyes. There's moisture gathering in the corners. Your heart melts. Is your cat crying because they missed you? The truth is far more complex and absolutely mind-blowing. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you cried? Maybe it was from sadness, physical pain, or even overwhelming joy. We humans are unique in our ability to shed emotional tears. It's one of the most profound ways we express our deepest feelings. But here's the million-dollar question that's been puzzling cat owners for centuries. Do our feline companions share this same emotional release? The answer might surprise you, and it's not as simple as yes or no. Let's start with what we can actually see. Yes, cats do produce tears. Yes, you might see moisture streaming down your cat's adorable face. But hold on. Before you assume your kitty is having an emotional breakdown, there's something crucial you need to understand about the biology behind those tears. When you see wetness around your cat's eyes, you're witnessing a purely physical response, not an emotional one. Think about it like this. Your cat's tears are more like your car's windshield wipers than your own emotional tears. They serve a functional purpose, nothing more, nothing less. So, what exactly causes these tears? The most common culprit is conjunctivitis. That's inflammation of the eye's mucous membrane. It's uncomfortable, it's irritating, and yes, it produces tears. But these aren't tears of sadness, they're tears of physical irritation. Infections are another major trigger. Just like humans can get eye infections that cause watering, so can cats. Bacterial or viral infections create discharge and excessive tearing as the body tries to flush out the invading organisms. It's actually a clever defense mechanism when you think about it. Here's something that might shock you. Sometimes it's as simple as a tiny piece of dust, a stray hair, or a small particle that's gotten lodged in your cat's eye. Their tears are trying to wash it away, performing exactly the function nature intended. And get this, some cat breeds are actually genetically predisposed to watery eyes. Persians, Himalayans, and other flat-faced breeds often have tears simply because of their facial structure. The tear ducts don't drain properly and moisture builds up. It's not sadness, it's anatomy. But wait, there's more. Let me tell you about the hidden causes that most cat owners never even consider. Allergies. Yes, cats can have allergies just like we do. Household chemicals, pollen, dust mites, even certain foods can trigger allergic reactions that manifest as watery eyes. Your cat isn't crying about their feelings, they're having an immune system response. Mechanical damage is another serious concern. A scratched cornea from a fight with another cat, a rough play session, or even just catching their eye on something sharp, this kind of injury produces tears as part of the healing response. It's painful, sure, but it's not emotional pain. Here's something that blew my mind when I first learned it. Dental problems can cause eye tearing. The roots of a cat's upper teeth are located very close to their nasal passages and tear ducts. An infected tooth or gum disease can actually cause inflammation that affects the eyes. Who would have thought your cat's dental health could make their eyes water? Parasites are yet another hidden cause. Worms and mites can trigger systemic responses that include eye discharge. It's gross, I know, but it's important to be aware of all the physical causes before we jump to emotional conclusions. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the cat in the living room. Can cats actually experience emotions similar to ours? The answer is absolutely yes, but here's the twist. They express them in completely different ways than we do. Your cat's physiology is fundamentally different from yours. While they absolutely have rich emotional lives filled with joy, fear, contentment, and stress, they didn't evolve to cry emotional tears as a communication method. Humans are actually quite unique in this regard. We're one of the only species that produces tears as an emotional response. But don't let that fool you into thinking cats are emotionless robots. Far from it. They've developed their own sophisticated language of emotional expression, and once you learn to read it, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. Let me break down the real ways cats cry and express their emotional distress. First up, behavioral changes. This is huge, and most cat owners miss these subtle signs. When your cat is sad, depressed, or emotionally distressed, they become less active. They might suddenly stop engaging in their favorite activities. That toy mouse they used to chase for hours? Suddenly, it's completely ignored. The treats they would literally do backflips for? No interest whatsoever. They start seeking out hiding spots, tucking themselves away in closets, under beds, or behind furniture. It's their way of withdrawing from the world when they're overwhelmed. Or, and this is where it gets interesting, they might do the complete opposite. Some cats become unusually aggressive when emotionally distressed, lashing out at people or other pets for seemingly no reason. Loss of appetite is another major red flag. Cats are creatures of routine, especially when it comes to food. If your normally food-motivated cat suddenly turns away from their bowl, something is definitely wrong, either physically or emotionally. Then there's vocalization, and this is where the term crying actually becomes relevant. Have you ever heard a cat make sounds that seem to pierce straight through your soul? That's vocal crying, and it's absolutely real. The sounds can range from plaintive, drawn-out meows to loud, almost human-like wails. These aren't your cat's normal feed me meows. These are different. They're loaded with emotion and urgency. Let me paint you a picture of what genuine feline distress sounds like. Imagine it's 2 in the morning. Suddenly, you're jolted awake by a sound that makes your blood run cold. It's your cat, but they're not making their normal sounds. This is something else entirely. It's a long, mournful wail that seems to echo through the house. This, my friends, is genuine feline crying. This type of vocalization happens most commonly in a few specific situations. Unneutered and unspayed cats experience intense physical discomfort during mating season. The hormones raging through their bodies create genuine distress. They're crying, they're yowling, it's very real. They're experiencing physical and emotional turmoil that they desperately need to express. It's not emotional tears, but it's absolutely a form of crying. Physical pain produces another type of crying that's impossible to ignore. Picture this scenario. Your cat suddenly lets out a sharp, piercing scream. It's not directed at anyone. It's not trying to communicate with you. It's an involuntary response to sudden, acute pain. The cat looks confused, maybe even scared, not understanding what's happening to their body. The crying stops when the pain subsides, then returns with the next wave of discomfort. If you ever witness this, drop everything. This is a medical emergency. Get your cat to a veterinarian immediately. Don't wait. Don't hope it goes away. Pain-related crying means something is seriously wrong. Fear produces yet another type of crying. When cats are terrified, when they're in a situation that feels threatening or completely foreign to them, they vocalize their distress loudly and persistently. They're not asking for help in the way we might. They're expressing pure, primal fear. Think about a cat at the vet's office. Many cats will cry, yowl, and meow desperately in the waiting room or examination room. They're in an unfamiliar environment, surrounded by strange smells, strange people, and often the scent of other stressed animals. It's sensory overload, and crying is their response. Or consider a cat during a thunderstorm. The loud noises, the changes in atmospheric pressure, the flashes of lightning, all of this can trigger intense fear responses. Cats might cry out repeatedly, seeking shelter and trying to make themselves as small as possible. Now let's talk about body language, because this is where cats really communicate their emotional state. A cat's body is like a billboard advertising their feelings if you know how to read it. And trust me, once you learn this language, you'll be amazed at how much your cat has been trying to tell you all along. The tail is one of the most expressive parts of a cat's body. A tucked tail pulled tight against the body screams fear or submission. A puffed up tail means your cat is frightened and trying to appear larger to ward off threats. A tail swishing rapidly back and forth, that's agitation or annoyance. Your cat is telling you to back off. The ears are equally telling. Ears pinned back flat against the head indicate fear, aggression, or extreme distress. It's a defensive posture protecting those sensitive ears from potential attack. Forward-facing ears with a slight tilt mean your cat is alert and interested. Ears rotating independently like little satellite dishes mean your cat is monitoring their environment for potential threats. Fur standing on end, what we call piloerection, is your cat's attempt to appear larger and more intimidating when frightened. It's an involuntary response to extreme stress or fear. The pupils tell their own story. Dilated pupils can indicate excitement, fear, or aggression, depending on the context. Narrowed pupils often mean focus or potential aggression, especially when combined with other aggressive body language. Even how your cat holds their body tells you volumes. A crouched position with belly low to the ground means fear and readiness to flee. An arched back combined with sideways stance is classic Halloween cat, trying to appear larger and more threatening. A relaxed, stretched-out position indicates contentment and security. Here's something fascinating that most people don't realize. Cats have an entire vocabulary of facial expressions. Their whiskers position changes with their mood. Forward-pointing whiskers mean interest and engagement. Whiskers pulled back against the face indicate fear or submission. So what does all this mean for you as a cat owner? How do you respond when your cat is crying, whether that's through vocalization, behavior changes, or physical tears? First and foremost, observe and document. When did the crying or behavioral change start? How often does it happen? What seems to trigger it? Is it associated with specific times of day or specific situations? This information is gold for your veterinarian. Check for physical causes first. Examine your cat's eyes gently. Do you see redness, swelling, or discharge? Is there an obvious foreign object? Check their teeth and gums for signs of dental issues. Look for any signs of injury or discomfort when you gently palpate their body. If you see physical tears or eye discharge, here's what to do. Gently clean the area around the eyes with a soft, damp cloth. Never use harsh chemicals or human eye drops unless specifically directed by your vet. If the tearing persists for more than a day or two, or if it's accompanied by other symptoms like squinting, rubbing at the eyes, or changes in behavior, call your veterinarian. For behavioral crying or excessive vocalization, consider environmental factors. Has anything changed recently? New pet, new family member, moved furniture, changed their food? Cats are incredibly sensitive to changes in their environment. Even something that seems minor to us can be deeply distressing to a cat. Provide safe spaces. Make sure your cat has quiet, comfortable places where they can retreat when feeling overwhelmed. A cozy bed in a quiet corner, a cat tree near a window, a cardboard box in a closet. These can be emotional lifelines for a stressed cat. Maintain routine. Cats thrive on predictability. Feed them at the same times each day. Play with them regularly. Keep their litter box clean and in the same location. This consistency provides emotional security. Here's something crucial that many cat owners overlook: enrichment. A bored cat can become a distressed cat. Provide mental stimulation through puzzle feeders, interactive toys, and regular play sessions. A tired, mentally engaged cat is generally a happy cat. Consider pheromone products. Synthetic feline facial pheromones, available as plug-in diffusers or sprays, can help reduce stress and anxiety in cats. They mimic the calming pheromones cats naturally produce when they feel secure. But let me be crystal clear about something. If your cat is showing signs of pain, if they're crying out in distress, if their behavior has changed dramatically, you need professional help. Don't try to diagnose or treat serious issues yourself. Your veterinarian is your partner in keeping your cat healthy and happy. Let's talk about some specific scenarios you might encounter and how to handle them. Scenario 1. You adopt a new cat and they seem to cry constantly in the first few days. This is incredibly common. Your new cat is experiencing massive life changes. Everything is unfamiliar. They don't know if they're safe yet. Give them time, provide that safe space we talked about, and let them adjust at their own pace. The crying should decrease as they become more comfortable. Scenario 2. Your cat starts crying at night, keeping you awake. This could be several things. Older cats sometimes develop cognitive dysfunction, similar to dementia in humans, which can cause nighttime confusion and vocalization. Younger cats might simply be bored or seeking attention. The solution depends on the cause. For older cats, consult your vet about cognitive support supplements. For younger cats, increase daytime play and establish a bedtime routine. Scenario 3. Your cat cries excessively around food time. Some cats become food obsessed, especially if they've experienced food insecurity in the past. Others have learned that crying gets them food. Work on establishing set feeding times and not reinforcing the crying behavior by giving in. If the behavior is extreme, discuss it with your vet, as some medical conditions can cause increased hunger and vocalization. Scenario 4. Your cat cries when you leave or return home. This could indicate separation anxiety. Yes, cats can develop this condition too. Solutions include gradual desensitization to departures, providing engaging activities during your absence, and in severe cases, consulting with a veterinary behaviorist. Now, let me share something that might blow your mind. Recent research has revealed that cats have actually evolved their vocalizations specifically to manipulate humans. That's right, your cat has literally learned how to push your emotional buttons. Studies show that domestic cats use vocalizations with humans far more than they do with other cats. Adult cats rarely meow at each other. That's primarily human-directed communication. And get this, they've learned to modulate their meows to sound similar to human infant cries. This triggers our nurturing instincts, making it nearly impossible for us to ignore them. So in a way, cats have developed their own form of emotional crying, one specifically designed to affect us. It's not tears, but it's incredibly effective communication. Here's something else worth considering: the bond between you and your cat. Cats who are strongly bonded to their owners have been shown to experience genuine distress when separated. They might not cry tears, but the emotional experience is real. Your presence matters to them. Your absence affects them. This means that your cat's crying might sometimes be a genuine expression of missing you or seeking your comfort. It's not tears rolling down their face, but it's every bit as emotionally significant. Let's talk about senior cats for a moment, because their crying often has unique causes. As cats age, they can develop various conditions that cause distress. Arthritis makes movement painful. Hyperthyroidism can cause increased vocalization and restlessness. Kidney disease can cause discomfort. High blood pressure can affect their vision and cause confusion. Senior cats crying at night is particularly common. Cognitive dysfunction causes disorientation, especially in the dark. They might forget where they are or lose their litter box. Their hearing might decline, making them feel isolated. Their vision might deteriorate, making nighttime particularly scary. If you have a senior cat who's crying more than usual, don't dismiss it as just getting old. These cats deserve comfort and medical attention just as much as younger cats. Many age-related conditions can be managed effectively, greatly improving your cat's quality of life. Here's a practical tip for senior cats crying at night. Leave night lights on throughout your home. This helps cats with declining vision navigate more easily and reduces confusion. Provide multiple litter boxes on each floor of your home. Make sure food, water, and comfortable sleeping spots are easily accessible. Let me address something important: the difference between attention-seeking crying and genuine distress. Yes, cats can learn to cry for attention, and some are quite manipulative about it. But how do you tell the difference? Attention-seeking crying typically has these characteristics. It happens at specific, predictable times, usually when they want something. It stops immediately once they get what they want. The cat otherwise appears healthy and content. There are no other behavioral changes or physical symptoms. Genuine distress crying is different. It's less predictable and more constant. The cat seems unable to settle even when their basic needs are met. There are accompanying behavioral changes or physical symptoms. The crying seems almost involuntary rather than calculated. When in doubt, always err on the side of caution. It's better to check with your vet and find out it's nothing serious than to ignore genuine distress. Now, let's talk about what you absolutely should not do when your cat is crying. Don't punish them. Yelling at, spraying with water, or otherwise punishing a crying cat will only increase their stress and potentially damage your bond. Don't ignore signs of physical illness. Hoping it goes away on its own can allow conditions to worsen. Don't assume it's just behavioral without ruling out medical causes first. Don't make sudden changes to try to fix the problem. This can actually increase stress. Instead, approach the situation methodically. Observe, document, consult with professionals, and make gradual changes while monitoring the results. Here's something beautiful to consider. Even though cats don't cry emotional tears like we do, they absolutely can feel sad, depressed, anxious, and distressed. They experience grief when they lose a companion, whether that companion is human or animal. They feel fear in threatening situations. They experience joy and contentment when their needs are met and they feel secure. The fact that they don't express these emotions with tears doesn't make the emotions any less real. In fact, learning to read your cat's unique language of emotional expression can deepen your bond in ways you never imagined. Think about it this way. Tears are just one form of emotional communication. Cats have evolved an entire suite of behaviors to communicate their feelings. In many ways, it's more nuanced and complex than simple tears. So the next time you see moisture in your cat's eyes, don't immediately assume they're having an emotional moment. Check for physical causes. But also, don't dismiss the possibility that your cat is experiencing genuine emotional distress. They're just showing it in feline ways rather than human ways. The bottom line is this. Cats don't cry emotional tears, but they absolutely do cry. They cry through their voices, their behavior, their body language. And once you learn to understand this language, you'll realize your cat has been talking to you all along. Your cat is constantly communicating their emotional state. They're telling you when they're happy, scared, sick, or distressed. The question is, are you listening? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with some action steps. Start today by really observing your cat. Watch how they move. Listen to their vocalizations. Notice their body language. Keep a journal if it helps. Note any changes, no matter how small. Build this awareness because it's the foundation of truly understanding your feline companion. If your cat is currently showing signs of distress, whether that's excessive vocalization, physical tears, or behavioral changes, take action. Don't wait. Cats are masters at hiding illness and discomfort. By the time they're showing obvious signs, the problem might be quite advanced. Remember, you are your cat's advocate. You are their voice in the medical system. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, pursue it. No good veterinarian will judge you for being concerned about your pet's well-being. And here's something I really want you to understand. A cat who feels safe, secure, and healthy is unlikely to display distress behaviors regularly. If your cat is constantly crying in any form, it's your job to figure out why and address it. The relationship between humans and cats spans thousands of years. These incredible creatures chose to live alongside us, and in doing so, they've adapted their communication to bridge the species gap. They may not speak our language, and they may not cry our tears, but they're constantly talking to us in their own unique way. The question is, are we listening? Are we paying attention? Are we willing to learn their language instead of expecting them to somehow learn ours? I hope this deep dive into feline crying has opened your eyes to the complex emotional lives of cats. They're not the aloof, uncaring creatures some people believe them to be. They're sensitive, emotional, communicative beings who deserve our understanding and compassion. If you found this information valuable, if you learned something new about your feline friend, do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and most importantly, ring that notification bell so you never miss when we drop new content about understanding and caring for your pets. Share this video with other cat lovers who need to hear this information. Drop a comment below and tell me, what unique way does your cat communicate with you? What's the most memorable crying episode you've experienced with your cat? I read every comment, and I love hearing your stories. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring enough about your cat to watch this entire video. And thank you for being the kind of pet owner who seeks to truly understand their companion. Your cat is lucky to have you. Until next time, pay attention to what your cat is telling you because they're always talking. You just need to learn their language.